Hello everyone, welcome to Professional Cypher. So today we are going to see how to build a drowsiness detection project using OpenCV machine learning in Python. So let's dive in. Here you can see that our files include hair cascade files, models, alarm.wave and two Python files, right? Drowsiness detection and the model.py. Okay, so let's understand what are these and then start coding. Here, the model.py is used to train a machine learning model to classify images of our eyes into closed or open. So the input is image of our eye and the output is whether it's closed or open. After we train the model, we save the model as a .h5 file and the drowsiness detection.py, that Python file is written on OpenCV. Using OpenCV, we test the project we built by detecting if we are sleeping by closing the eyes, then an alert will be given. That's why the script is used. To brief a bit more on detection, so we open the OpenCV and capture each frame and predict using the machine learning model, and if the eyes are closed after a certain point of time, the alert will be given. That is the WVAV file, which is the audio, which will be used to alert the user. Okay, so I hope you have got a big picture on the project. So let's start coding, right? Okay, so let's start by importing all the libraries, right? You can see first we are importing the Keras, then Matplotlib, then NumPy. As usual, we need NumPy. Then other Keras libraries including Keras utils to categorical, which is usually used to. Then we import the random, shuttle, and finally the major libraries, the Keras models. From that we get the sequential model. Then we use it to create sequential models, which I will code later. Then from Keras layers we import dropout, convolution, which is the major architecture in this project. Then we flatten, dense, max pooling. We will come to this later. Let's first import everything, right? Okay, so yeah, first we are writing, this is the important function definition generator. So what it does is it opens your camera and start capturing images for the training. So you can see here image data generator. We are rescaling so that every image captured gets into the same size, right? Let's see what the function is doing. Here it's returning gen.flow from directory. Yeah, so it's basically saves the images in a directory and then returns as a batch size and shuffle, everything included, so that there is no bias, right? Like the images you capture consecutively will have same pattern, but it should not be used to train. We should shuffle. Okay, so after writing this, the important function, now we define the batch size. Then we use the above written function to first get our train batch, right? So we will have two batches, train batch and the validation batch. So we train and after each epoch we try how well is our model. So yeah, here we go with the validation batch. Here also we use the same function written above, generator function, to capture the images, right? Yeah, now what we do is here we get number of images we have got in the train and validation batch. Yeah, we are printing it to just confirm whether how much each session has got. Now we are coming to the major part, which is the model. Okay, so model sequential. So what it defines is, from here we are going to add layers to our model. That's what we mean by sequential. Okay, so the first layer is convolutional layer, which is the important layer. We have an entire series going on in this channel on convolutional neural network, so go check it out. Then we max pool, so that we had discussed there. So the channels should increase, but the size should decrease, keep on decreasing. The next convolutional layer, then we will again add one more max pooling layer to again decrease the size. Now we will increase the channels of the convolutional layer. So let's see how it's done. Okay, so here we increase the number of channels from 32 to 64. So that number of features we get from the images increase. Okay, so again we max pool. That's the standard procedure we use. We can even drop out if needed to reduce overfitting. Finally, what we do is we flatten this convolutional layer, right? So let's see. We should add comments so that our project is readable to others who visit our projects. Okay, so as I mentioned, here we are adding the dropout. So what dropout does is, here as dropout is 0.0, 2.5, it randomly deletes the weight. So it makes the weights back to 0 from half of the, like 1/4 of the neurons. Okay, now we flatten. So what happens when we flatten is, it becomes an array rather than tensor. Finally, what we do is, then we use that flattened to a dense layer. So here activation is defined ReLU. Now coming to the final layer, right? Before that we drop out. Again we add dropout to ensure that there is no overfitting and all. Finally we use softmax, because by the end of the day what we are doing here is a classification problem. So in an image classification problem we need probabilities, right? So what softmax does is a probability distribution. So yeah, after completing the layer we compile the model. So while compiling, we define the optimizer, we need the type of loss we will calculate, which is usually categorical close entropy. Then we define the metrics we need to understand what are the metrics we need to see. Now we fit the model. This is the important part. So here we are not only giving the train batch, we are also giving the validation data. So with this, what we can do is, by each epoch, we can see how well the model is performing on new data, which it hasn't seen while training, right? And as a final step, we save the model as a .h5. This is the standard format of saving a TensorFlow model. Here I am not showing the execution of the model because we have already trained model. So you have to just run the model.py script. So let's go to the major part, right? Which is the drowsiness detection. That includes loading the trained model and then using OpenCV to predict frame by frame. Okay, so here you can see we have imported OpenCV and other modules. Now let's see. Yeah, we are using the audio, as I mentioned, alarm.wav, right? Here is where we use cascade classifier. So what cascade classifier does is, the phase cascade classifier does is, it identifies where our face is, and the left eye classifier does is, it identifies where our left eye is. Similarly for the right eye. So it gives us coordinates, right? We get a focused image. Now after we get the face, we use the left and right eye classifier, and from that we get images of both eyes. So we should ensure both our eyes are closed, right? To ensure that we are sleeping. And after using the cascade classifiers, what we do is we put them in a range so that we can use them as images later. So here we are loading the image. Here we are loading the load model. The .h5 which we trained earlier. Now we are capturing the frame. So here 0 means our camera, like the device which you are running the script, the camera of that device. So 0 means our webcam. We can change the camera. It's possible. Okay, now we score everything to 0, then tick to 2. Okay, here left prediction and right prediction is set to 99, which we will later turn into 0 or 1. So it's just initialization. Now we start the while loop. So what while loop does is, it goes on capturing frame by frame until we press Q to quit the project, or Q to quit the frame, which we will code at the end. So by putting in a while loop, we are capturing frame by frame. So here you can see gray equal to cv2.cvt color. So it converts the colored image into a black and white image. So that's it. That's needed for that. That's only needed. We don't need the colors for the image. Then here you can see the classifier. We are taking the faces, then we are getting the left eye, then the right eye using the classifier which we defined earlier. Now we capture the frame here, cv2.rectangle. So what we are writing here is coordinates, like from which point to which point. Okay, so this is the important part. So here in phases. So what in phases means, I had mentioned, right, like you can get the face. So in the face we are getting our left and right eye. We are trying to get where is our left and right eye. So it becomes better, like rather than searching for an eye in the whole image, you can first focus on your face, then go for the left and right eye. Yeah, so here we go for the right eye. Right eye, we get the coordinates, right? Y plus h, x plus w. Now we can convert it actually into an image. That's what we are going to do here. Yes, after converting it into image, here you can see we are resizing. So here is an important part. So while doing machine learning projects with images, you should fix a dimension like 24 by 24, something which you are okay with, and then while predicting also you should resize the images. Okay, so here you can see we are reshaping the image. Now we are expanding the dimension. The reason why we are expanding is because usually we pass images as a batch. So here we need a batch, but we have only one image. So we have to expand the dimension so that we have a batch of a single image. So that's why we are expanding this one. And you can see here we are using the predict classes. Model.predict classes, what it does is we had loaded the model. It returns us if an array with 0 and 1s. So that's why we have done the 0, predict of 0 equal to 1. Yep. So if it's 1, then it means open. If it's 0, it means closed. So that's obvious. So we do the similar operation on the left eye also. There also we capture first we capture the frame, then we color. Let's code it. So while hypertuning, just as a tip, you can try out different sizes of the images to see which size gives you better. Like for some operations you don't need that much higher resolution images, you can decrease down to something like 24 by 24, but in some cases you need a bit like 64 by 64 or something larger than that. So that can also be taken as a parameter, I guess. Okay, so here also we use model.predict class. So from the loaded model, it predicts the image as closed or open as a batch. So that's why from the batch we are taking the first element, which is the predict of 0, right? Okay, so here also we define the two if conditions, labeling it as open or closed. Yeah, once we get the result, we can break. So this is an important condition. Here we check whether the right and left eye are closed. We should check, as I mentioned earlier, both should be closed, right? Then we increase the score. Then we show that it's closed. So we can see the output later. So cv2.putText, what it does is on the frame which it is using, it displays some text. So you can use it earlier or later also to display text wherever you need. Okay, so if it checks if it's closed, else it decreases the score. So what the mechanism here is, for the while we are closed, the score keeps increasing, and once we open our eyes, the score keeps decreasing and it reaches 0. Yeah, here you can see that we are setting the score to 0. So in case it keeps on decreasing and after 0 it should not go to -1, right? So we are resetting the score. Okay, so let's see. Again we are just coding the put text part of the frame. Okay, so here is the alert part. So if we keep on closing our eyes for 15 frames, so that's 15. So if we continuously keep our eye closed for 15 frames, it's not seconds, okay, it's frames. Then we save the image to ensure for later. Then we try playing the sound. So in some cases the file might not work or it would be corrupted, so we should not take a chance. So we try and put an except, so in case it's not playing, right? Oh, we have commented it that also. And then we decrease the tick. I guess we are almost done with the project. So I hope you are okay with the concepts I have explained in the entire project. We will see the output by the end. So after that we again capture the frame for the next once the while loop completes, we need frame, right? Okay, so finally we show the frame to the user. After each execution we show what we have done to the frame, right? So it's like outputting the code using the print. So similar statement, we show the image. Finally we end the program. Okay, so let's execute the program and see, right? Yes, here you can see a demo. First I'm opening my eyes, so the score is 0. As I close, the score keeps increasing. You can clearly see that after reaching 15, yes, now I am getting the sound, so I got alerted. Now my eyes are closed. So this will be a practical use for a driver. So in case he closed eyes for some like 15 frames, it's not 15 seconds, so within 15 frames he will be alerted and he will be waken up, so to avoid accidents and all. So that's the project we have built. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Professional Cypher.